Before we get into today's video going over trades I took today on ES, I'm going to show you guys some proof of concept to prove that my trading strategy that I teach all the course members in the 100 Sword course does work. So here on the left is a backtest from one of my students that's only been with us for 3 weeks now. This is his win rate 49% and his risk reward average 2.76. This is how his counter looks with TradeZella backtesting. Now this on the right is my personal backtest back in 2024, 2023 when I did a year backtest of my strategy with a 45% win rate at 4.8 risk reward. So now, there we go. That's the backtesting here. Now let's jump straight into the trades taken today. So on ES, we just took 3 trades. All right. So 3 trades on ES today. This is the first trade here, and it's very simple. This first trade here was off a New York session high sweep and a London session high sweep. So when we have double sweeps like this is high probability because there's not much liquidity aside from this high right here, which is my ultimate draw on liquidity here. So this is my draw on liquidity on this day. And how do I know that was my draw on liquidity? Look at the screenshot, guys. I sent this to the private members. So if you're a course member or a private one-on-one mentorship student, so you get access to my executions channel where I share trade ideas and such. And you can see I shared basically saying that my draw on liquidity is the 30-minute inducement above. So that's the 30-minute inducement above that I marked out. Right here, as you can see in the screenshot, this is my high time frame bias. I said I was looking for basically bullish price action today, and that's what we had today. We had a lot of continuations to the upside. And so if you are taking just my trade ideas and call outs, essentially if you want to call them signals, I don't like calling them signals, but trade ideas, you'll be profitable. So right here, we took a short here off my impulse model, stop loss a few ticks above, and my TP here is just a 1-minute origin here. Now, keep in mind, we do have a 5-minute POI here, but this entry here, it came back to 50% already. So this is basically invalid here because there's no other POI above for price to get to. Hence why I was fine still holding my short here, even though we mitigated the 5-minute origin here. So once we mitigated that, we really went to my TP. I held this trade and we TP for 3 risk reward, 3.69 to be specific on this short. Next trade here, I called out to the group here. If you see, I said, I have a limit set at the OB right now, which is one of my entry models I teach you guys in a course, but we'll see if I get filled here or not, because we did have a good solid momentum move. I wasn't entirely sure whether or not we will get the retracement, but we did. So very nice here. The 40% probability of us retracing to the OB played out. If you know, you know, secret sauce there. But 3 risk reward here, basically on this long here, my TP was at the high originally, but after this consolidation period, I said, you can TP early mainly if you want. So I said got filled, I'm in this long. That's when I got entered here. I'm off my limit order and TP set at the high originally, like I said. But I TP'd basically mainly around 124. I told everyone I'm TPing here mainly for a 3 risk reward and I'm calling it a day here. So the reason why I TP'd here mainly just because we had an SMT with NQ. Now this is a low probability SMT because we're bullish. We're expecting expansion to the upside in price. Therefore, you know, this is something you can usually hold for the high on both assets. So if ES did SMT, if ES still got the high and you're in NQ longs and NQ did not take out the high, you can still hold for the high. It's just to me, when we consolidate like this, we can expect a move back down. And I wasn't too sure if price would mitigate the flip here or the origin here. That's unmitigated right here. So if it did do that, it would hit me at break even or, you know, however I manage my trade. I basically set and forget this one. But point is, I didn't want to risk. I was already basically very close to TP. You can see there's not much risk reward difference here. 3.14 versus 3.4. So like a 0.3 risk reward difference over time, that does add up. But this is just one single trade where I do mainly close. Otherwise, majority of times I just hold to my full target. So you had another entry model going along with my strategy here I teach you guys. But I did not take this. I was kind of done, like I said, for a day here. We had 2 winners for 6 risk reward. That's very solid for a session. Back-to-back winners too. Now, once we hit my high time frame draw on liquidity, we'll go on the 30-minute for y'all to show y'all what's up. This is the exact chart I sent to the group. This is my inducement here, right? Let me remove this text here. This is my inducement I draw here on 30-minute, right? That was my high time frame. Look what happens. As soon as my draw hits, we reversed. That is normal. I was anticipating that to happen. This is something normal that happens, right? After we hit high time frame draw on liquidity, like high time frame inducement. So here, you know, I came back to the charts. All right, you can have alerts set. So when high time draw on liquidity, you can have alerts set there when that hits, and then you can try shorting there. I missed the short, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have taken it, but I missed it here. You have my entry models here that played out. This is probably like a forward risk reward trade using my entry models. And you target the 1-minute origin here that I was talking about earlier that price missed, right? So if you don't want to miss these origins and POIs, use the ETU Elite Indicator. We have access to kill zones, daily buys, IFEGs, POIs, structured draw liquidity, and the watermark, which isn't too important. You have a ton of settings here, a ton of filtering to help you make the best trading decisions possible and not miss trades. This also has built-in alert functionality, so you can add alerts on the indicator itself and you won't be missing trades. Now, let's get back to the trade here. What is the setup here? This is basically a impulse model. Okay, this is my impulse model entry. I took this for 2 risk reward. Original target was the high because I was trying to see if I can get a little, I guess got a little greedy, but I was trying to see if we can potentially fill the gap. We have a huge gap above, but then I trailed my stop loss because I realized time in the day, this is 30 minutes before market closure. I don't like to trade near market close, so you guys may know, because sometimes we do some very funky stuff near market closure. Especially if you're in a trade. I was already up 2 risk reward. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna close here manually. Basically what happened was I trailed my stop loss below this sell to buy, and it hit me out trail stop loss, which in this case it saved me, but it won't always do this, right? So 2 risk reward there. Basically what happens here is the indicator technically marked it here, but we failed the mitigation cycle. So this here is a FBOS that I teach you guys in the course. So there's your FBOS, right? There's your FBOS. And then that's when you can anticipate taking shorts. And I think price at this point in time, we can probably come back a little bit lower before going higher, or even potentially go for a New York session low, right? You can trade a lot of mitigation cycles and reversals while we're making those moves on the lower time frame. Remember, we're trading on a lower time frame. You can still catch some nice retracements, reversals, or scalps. So you don't need 100% high time frame draw liquidity accuracy to be consistently profitable, right? You can even just be accurate on a high time draw liquidity 50% of times. And if you're taking those trades towards the high time draw liquidity, it's correct 50% of times with the right system that I teach you guys with the entry models that are fully mechanical, you'll be profitable. So don't worry about that. That's not a huge issue or something you should focus too much on unless you really want to perfect it. But this basically sums up today, man. Hope you guys did enjoy today's little trade recap. Just going over the 3 trades I took. Okay, 3 risk reward, and 2 risk reward overall up on New York session, 8 risk reward. Okay, and then the team caught 3 risk reward with me on this long here, right? Some trades like this, for example, is very hard to call out because when I came back to the charts, price was already dumping like this. It's gonna be very hard to call a trade where I'm entering basically on the 1 minute very quickly like this. But I know a few of our members, one of our members, he actually DM'd me or sent me a message. He said he was literally looking for this exact same setup because I'm telling you guys, my strategy is very mechanical in the sense where you're just looking at the same thing I'm looking at. If your drawing liquidity is correct, you're trading things correctly, you did your back testing, we're looking at the same chart, the same trades, same trade ideas. And so you would have caught this, but he said he missed it, unfortunately, because, you know, like I said, this move happened very fast. So if you're here like a few minutes before this PY got hit here, or you didn't even have this PY drawn out, or at least an alert there, it's gonna be hard to catch that trade because this is an impulse delivery with a lot of momentum. And I tell you guys all the time, I'll reemphasize this one more time for the YouTube. But basically, when you have a lot of momentum, you want to use that towards your advantage, right? Use that as an advantage. When I see big momentum, I don't get scared. I like to trade reversals off of huge momentums trades that go against me because those are when we deliver the cleanest, right? So instead of getting some type of delivery like this, not the best example, let's say some type of delivery. Some type of delivery like this, you can see how this is so much cleaner, right? Because we have a clean range. So try to trade and avoid messy ranges. I'm not saying you can't trade messy ranges. Just anticipate that if you're gonna trade a messy range, that likely price will also deliver a little bit more messy, and you just got something to keep in mind. So if you want to just walk away from your charts for those type of trades, you can just set and forget and let it run to TP your stop loss. So again, hope you guys do enjoy today's video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, so hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If I ever do stream and you do want to catch the streams with me, we've been killing it on the free YouTube live streams, okay? So again, if you want to check out the course, mentorship, whatever, all links are down below, essentialtradersuniversity.com. You can use code STREAM for $100 off today, off the course, and I'll see you guys in there. Peace.